If you're dating for the purpose of finding a life partner, please listen up. You have to date people who you are equally yoked with, okay? This whole notion of opposites attracts is BS. Now, I'm not saying that you and your partner got to do everything.
All right, so let me explain so far what she's really saying, right? You really do got to be like equally yoked, because say for instance somebody has a religion where they may be a, this person may be a Christian and the girl may be a Catholic, right? No matter how much y'all like each other, no matter how much polarity is there, or no matter how much attraction is there, eventually if y'all decide to be together long term and y'all want to have kids, well, which church you gonna go to? You gonna go to the Catholic church or go to the Baptist church? So what she's saying so far is so true, but and I'm gonna get into this later, but as men we get so captivated with the looks, but not realizing you want to be yoked with somebody. You know what I'm saying? You really want to be aligned with somebody, because if not, it's gonna be difficult down the road. But let's go ahead and get back into the video.
It can be just like, no, having differences is always healthy. But I'm saying y'all have to have very similar mindsets, very similar values.
Right, and I like that she mentioned that. She said having differences is healthy. Of course, you're gonna have difference of conversations and different things, but as long as it's minor and it's not major, it shouldn't really be a concern.
And very similar goals for it to work. Y'all have to have similar lifestyles for it to make any type of sense. For example, I'm a single mother. I have a 14-year-old son. My son is in high school, his first year. By the time that I am 40, the year I turn 40 actually, my son is going to be off to college. His father and I broke up 13 years ago. His father lives in New York, I live in Georgia. We have a great co-parenting relationship. He's a very active father. I have a lot of male cousins, so my son has a lot of male figures in his life. Any man that were to come into my life will not be a stepfather at this point. He would just be another male influence. I prefer to date men with kids because mostly I don't want to have any more children. However, me and my one child...
By the way, I like her mindset. I know the video is not about her, but that type of mindset of where people with kids should date people with kids. And you can think what you want to think, but going back to what she said about the lifestyles, it's important that you have the similar lifestyles with somebody that you're gonna rock with, because that's how you're gonna be able to have the most fun, right? If one person likes to travel and the other doesn't, that's eventually gonna be a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna have to sacrifice in that area, and somebody is eventually not going to be happy or satisfied. But again, as men, like I always say on this channel, we can't get past the looks. We can't get past what's fat back there. That was one of my biggest things that I struggle with, is I was coming from scarcity, not even coming from abundance. I didn't even know what that was. But when you're coming from scarcity, you're almost thinking like, man, this girl is up here, so I gotta, I gotta hit her up, I gotta comment on her pictures, I gotta do all these different things to get her attention, so she picks me.
That is 4 years on his way to go living his own life is not the same as a man that has 3 kids who are under 10 and 3 different baby mothers. And I'm not criticizing anyone for how they live their life or how they have their kids. As long as you're taking care of your children, that's on you. But what I'm saying is, where I'm at with my parents, and I can go do what I want to do. I can go be where I want to be. If you have young kids, you don't have that same luxury. Nothing wrong with that, but we're not equally yoked. If you're financially stable and the other person is not, y'all are not equally yoked. If you're a Christian...
No, I'm starting to change my mindset when it comes to that, because the saying with men, like we can get a girl that, that works at McDonald's. What she's saying is super true. Like, if you're financially stable, you want to also get somebody that's stable as well, because if not, you're going to have to deal with their shenanigans. You're going to have to deal with their issues. You're going to have to pay their bills. If you get with somebody who's like on your financial level or higher, that will make more sense, because now you got somebody that's realistic, someone that can provide, someone that's on your level. Because if not, I promise you, it's going to be an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, and now obviously there's outlier situations, we all know that. But for me, I prefer someone who is on the same level or can do the same things that I can do. You know what I'm saying?
The other person is a Muslim. Y'all are not equally yoked. If you love to travel and the other person hates it, y'all are not equally yoked. Do you see where I'm going with this? I'm not saying that these pairs won't particularly work, but it's unlikely because y'all gonna continuously butt heads. Anyway, be safe.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because you have to get better at vetting, and not even just women, but the people in your life, you know what I'm saying? So, but when you start to be more confident in who you are and work on more areas of your life, Whether, you know, you gotta be in the gym, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta make sure your swag stay right, you gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying, you're getting better women. When you're working on all areas, you won't ever overcompensate. And then since you won't overcompensate, there will be no self-sabotaging going on. Because think about it, if you're overcompensating, right? And what overcompensating is meaning that you realize that you struggle in this one area, but you're trying to cover your tracks with it. You're trying to make excuses for it. And naturally, subconsciously, it starts to come out, you know what I'm saying, in different ways. So when you do that, you're not even coming from the position of what can this woman bring to my life? You're thinking, dang man, because I'm not good in this area, it's gonna mess me up with this woman. And when you start thinking like that, the body's gonna follow, and then you're gonna start acting like that. Versus when you work on all parts of your life at the same time, you're not worried about overcompensating. So therefore, when you're with the woman, you're more so, I'm like with me, I'm more so looking at a woman like, okay, you look good, what's next? What else you got? Can you invest? Are you investing in me? Are you in this? You know what I'm saying? How is the communication? Is it wishy-washy? You know what I'm saying? I'm paying attention to all of that, because when you ignore the red flags, you're not gonna be able to ignore the consequences when they come down the line. You gotta get good at vetting people in your life, vetting women in your life. You can't just take anybody, and just because she look good, got some fat back there, that ain't enough. It's not even close to enough. That just, to me, that just gets you in the door, barely. So after that, you gotta look for the quality. You gotta know what you want in somebody. That's the most important thing, knowing what you want. But to know what you want, you gotta spend that time alone to know what you need. And once you know that, you're able to look at a woman past the looks to see, okay, she's super dry with the texting, she never gives me availability, she's not interested. Because we all know when a woman likes a dude, she's gonna move mountains for him. So my whole point to this is just get past the looks. Learn to vet, learn to love yourself, have standards. And when you do that, you'll start to see things change. All right, guys, that's my video for today, man. I appreciate you guys for coming over to the channel. As always, make sure you consider to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gone.